Imagine a pitcher so dominant that he made the best hitters in the world look like amateurs. An athlete so relentless that, even in an era marked by some of the greatest sluggers in history, he not only competed but surpassed them all. This is the story of Pedro Martínez, a man who didn't just play baseball, he revolutionized the game. I'm Alder Santos, and welcome to our channel, Baseball Legends. Today, we'll explore the fascinating journey of one of the most iconic pitchers of all time, diving into the accomplishments, controversies, and moments that defined a legendary career. Get ready to discover how Pedro became a living legend, marking his name among the immortals of the sport. Born in Manoguayabo, a small town in the Dominican Republic, Pedro Martínez had everything stacked against him. Short stature, humble beginnings, and a dream that seemed too distant for someone in his position. But Pedro had something that no one could measure: an unshakable heart, an insatiable passion for the game, and a determination that would lead him to defy the odds in ways no one expected. From his early days in the minors to his brilliant moments in MLB, every chapter of his journey was a lesson on how hard work and talent can change the course of a life. Watch this video until the end and discover all the incredible details about Pedro Martínez's legendary career. We want to hear your opinion. What was the most memorable moment of this baseball legend? Leave your favorite game, memorable performances, or even how Pedro inspired you as a fan or player in the comments. Don't forget to share your thoughts, as your participation makes our content even more special. But Pedro Martínez's greatness isn't limited to the impressive numbers he accumulated throughout his career. He was a showman, a strategist, a fierce competitor who knew how to turn every game into a spectacle. Who doesn't remember his dominant performances in the playoffs, his epic rivalries with great teams, and his provocative demeanor on the mound? He was both loved and feared, a figure who transcended the sport and captured the imagination of fans worldwide. Today, we'll unveil all the details of this incredible story. Pedro Martínez is widely regarded as one of the most dominant and charismatic pitchers of the late 1990s and early 2000s. His journey in baseball is a story of overcoming adversity, unparalleled talent, and a lasting impact on the game. This video delves in detail into every aspect of Pedro Martínez's career, from his humble beginnings in the Dominican Republic to his place in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Let's dive into this fascinating journey. Pedro Jamie Martínez was born on October 25, 1971, in Manoguayabo, a small town in the Dominican Republic. He grew up in a large, humble family, sharing a modest home with his brothers and sisters. From an early age, Pedro showed an interest in baseball, inspired by his older brother Ramon Martínez, who would also become a pitcher in Major League Baseball, MLB. Despite his small frame, Pedro had a passion for the game that overcame any physical limitations. Pedro's career began with challenges. He signed as an amateur free agent with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 1988 at the age of 16. In the early years, Martínez faced skepticism due to his small stature, standing only 5 feet 11 inches and weighing less than 154 pounds. Many doubted he had the stamina and strength to become a dominant pitcher in MLB. However, Pedro made up for these limitations with a combination of speed, control, and a diverse arsenal of pitches. Pedro made his MLB debut in 1992 with the Dodgers, but didn't receive many opportunities to shine. Despite showing flashes of his talent, the team decided to trade him to the Montreal Expos in 1993. This decision would prove to be a monumental mistake for the Dodgers, as it was with the Expos that Pedro truly began to emerge as one of the best pitchers in the sport. With the Montreal Expos, Pedro Martínez finally had the chance to showcase his full potential. In 1997, he had a historic season, culminating in winning the National League Cy Young Award, given to the best pitcher of the season. He finished that year with a record of 17 wins and 8 losses, an ERA of 1.90, and 305 strikeouts in 241.1 innings pitched. This performance put Pedro on the radar as one of the most dominant pitchers in the sport. In 1998, Martínez was traded to the Boston Red Sox, a move that would change the franchise's history and solidify his status as a baseball legend. During his time with the Red Sox, Pedro reached the peak of his career, establishing himself as one of the most feared and respected pitchers in the game. His combination of explosive fastballs, tireless work ethic, and deep understanding of the game's strategy made him nearly unbeatable at his peak. The year 1999 was especially remarkable for Pedro Martínez. He had one of the most dominant seasons in baseball history, with a record of 23 wins and 4 losses, an ERA of 2.07, and an impressive 313 strikeouts in 213.1 innings pitched. He not only won the American League Cy Young Award, but also finished second in the MVP voting, a rare feat for a pitcher. In 2000, Pedro repeated his elite performance, posting an incredible ERA of 1.74, the lowest in the league, while accumulating 284 strikeouts. He won his 3rd Cy Young Award, cementing his place as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. During this period, he was virtually untouchable, with opponents often describing the experience of facing him as overwhelming. Although Pedro was known for his mound skills, he was also a fierce competitor who never backed down from a confrontation. In 2003, during the American League Championship Series against the New York Yankees, Martínez was involved in a controversial incident with Don Zimmer, a Yankees coach. The altercation highlighted Pedro's intensity and the fierce rivalry between the two teams. Despite the highs and lows, Pedro Martínez was a central figure in the resurgence of the Red Sox, culminating in the historic 2004 World Series championship. It was the franchise's first title in 86 years, and Pedro played a crucial role in this journey. Although he was no longer at the peak of his career, his presence on the team was a vital element to their success. After the 2004 season, Martínez signed with the New York Mets, where he continued to show flashes of his greatness. Despite struggles with injuries in the following seasons, he remained one of the most respected pitchers in the game. In 2009, he had a brief stint with the Philadelphia Phillies before officially retiring. Pedro Martínez was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015, in his first year on the ballot, receiving 91.1% of the votes. This recognition confirmed his lasting impact on the game and his status as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. In addition to his on-field achievements, Pedro also stood out for his contributions off the field. He is known for his philanthropic work in the Dominican Republic, helping improve the lives of underprivileged youth through educational and sports programs. Pedro Martínez's story is proof that talent, determination, and passion can overcome any obstacle. He not only redefined what it means to be a dominant pitcher, but also inspired a generation of athletes to pursue excellence. Today, his legacy lives on both in the records he set and the lives he touched. One of the most fascinating chapters of Pedro Martínez's career was his rivalry with the New York Yankees, particularly during his time with the Boston Red Sox. These clashes became legendary, with Pedro frequently facing some of the best lineups in history. Intense games, such as the playoff matchups in 2003 and 2004, showcased the best of his talent and determination. Pedro's famous quote, "The Yankees are my daddy," said after a loss, exemplified not only his frustration, but also his humility and self-awareness in one of the most challenging moments of his career. In 1995, Pedro came close to a historic feat by throwing 9 perfect innings against the San Diego Padres, but the game went into extra innings. Although he lost the perfect game in the 10th inning, his performance in that game remains one of the most impressive demonstrations of dominance on the mound. This performance solidified his reputation as a pitcher who not only had talent, but also an unmatched mental toughness. For many fans, the most memorable moment of Pedro Martinez's career was his participation in the historic 2004 Boston Red Sox campaign. After decades without a championship, the team finally broke the curse of the Bambino, and Pedro was an essential piece in that triumph. His performance in the final game of the World Series against the St. Louis Cardinals was crucial to securing the victory, ending an 86-year wait for Red Sox fans. Pedro Martinez was not just a phenomenal player. He was also an important cultural figure, especially for the Dominican community. He became a symbol of national pride, inspiring young players throughout Latin America to pursue their dreams in baseball. His generosity and involvement in philanthropic causes demonstrate his commitment to giving back to the community that always supported him. Even during his playing career, Pedro was known for sharing his knowledge with teammates and young players. He understood the game on a deep level and had the ability to communicate that wisdom in an accessible way. Many pitchers who came after him credit part of their success to the lessons learned from Pedro. In 2015, Pedro Martinez was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, receiving an impressive 91.1% approval from the votes. During his acceptance speech, he highlighted the importance of his Dominican heritage and thanked the fans, teammates, and coaches who contributed to his journey. It was an emotional moment that encapsulated his career and lasting influence on the sport. After retiring, Pedro continued to make significant contributions to baseball as an analyst and commentator. His ability to explain the nuances of the game with passion and clarity brought a new dimension to broadcasts, helping to educate and entertain fans of all ages. Pedro Martinez is more than just one of the greatest pitchers in baseball history. He is an example of how talent, determination, and a love for the game can transcend barriers and create a lasting legacy. His journey, marked by highs and lows, intense rivalries, and moments of pure greatness, continues to inspire fans and players around the world. Pedro Martinez was born in Manoguayabo, in the Dominican Republic, a small community that he always carried in his heart. His humble childhood shaped his character and resilience. He grew up playing baseball with improvised balls and bats made from branches, developing a passion for the sport that would soon become his calling. Despite financial hardships, Pedro never lost sight of his dreams. He would often watch his older brother, Ramon Martinez, also an MLB player, and use him as a source of inspiration. When Pedro signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 1988, he faced doubts about his ability to compete in MLB due to his stature. Standing only 5 feet 11 inches and weighing around 154 pounds, many believed he wouldn't be able to handle the workload of a starting pitcher. However, Pedro used these criticisms as motivation. He worked tirelessly to perfect his mechanics and strengthen his arm, proving that talent and determination can overcome physical limitations. Pedro shone brightly during his time with the Montreal Expos. It was there that he began to be recognized as one of the most dominant pitchers in the league. In 1997, he won his first Cy Young Award, posting an ERA of 1.90 and accumulating 305 strikeouts. This was an important milestone, as it showcased his ability to combine impeccable control with impressive speed and a diverse pitching repertoire. When Pedro joined the Boston Red Sox in 1998, he quickly became the face of the franchise. His intensity on the mound, combined with a vibrant personality, won the hearts of fans. During this phase, he racked up historic numbers and was crucial in one of the most competitive eras in baseball. The 1999 season is often considered one of the best by any pitcher in MLB history. Pedro led the league with a 2.07 ERA, recorded 313 strikeouts, and won 23 games. His performance in the All-Star game that year, where he struck out 5 of the best hitters consecutively, is still remembered as one of the most electrifying moments in the event's history. Even facing recurring injuries, Pedro continued to demonstrate his value. He was known for his ability to adjust his strategy depending on how his body felt on any given day. This not only showcased his intelligence in the game, but also his ability to persevere in the face of adversity. Pedro Martínez redefined what it meant to be a dominant pitcher. He proved that it wasn't necessary to rely solely on brute strength to dominate hitters. His combination of surgical control, subtle movements, and a strategic mindset elevated the level of the position. He inspired a new generation of pitchers to focus not only on speed, but also on intelligence and creativity. For the Dominican Republic, Pedro Martínez is more than a sports hero. He is a national icon. He frequently used his platform to celebrate his culture and promote the importance of baseball in his homeland. His inclusion in the Hall of Fame with a Dominican flag draped over his shoulders symbolized his unbreakable connection to his country. Pedro's journey teaches that obstacles can be overcome with hard work and belief in oneself. He faced criticism, injuries, and moments of doubt, but always found a way to overcome those challenges. His story is a living example that success is not a destination, but an ongoing journey. Despite all his achievements, Pedro remained humble and generous. He never forgot his roots and frequently contributed to social causes in his hometown. He served as a reminder that true success is measured not only by what we achieve, but by the positive impact we leave on others. Pedro Martínez is not only one of the greatest pitchers in baseball history, he is a figure who transcends the sport. His career is a celebration of what is possible when talent and hard work meet passion and purpose. Pedro showed us that true dominance is not just in the statistics, but in how we inspire others and leave a lasting legacy. Pedro Martínez was not just one of the best pitchers of the late 90s and early 2000s. He was a game changer in how the pitching position was viewed in modern baseball. In an era dominated by the rise of steroid use and power hitters, Pedro not only stood out, but often overshadowed the biggest names of the time. His dominance didn't rely on overwhelming physical strength, but on a sharp tactical intellect and an ability to adapt his approach to face any opponent. He was also a charismatic figure who knew how to connect with fans. Whether in captivating interviews or interactions with fans, Pedro displayed a genuine passion for the game and an energy that transcended the field. His vibrant personality was the perfect counterpoint to his intensity on the mound, creating an irresistible combination for fans and teammates alike. Throughout his career, Pedro participated in some of the most memorable matchups in baseball history. His duels with the Yankees, especially during the playoffs, were etched in the memory of all fans. One of the most iconic moments came in 2003 when Pedro was at the center of one of the sport's greatest rivalries. Though these games were often intense and controversial, they also highlighted the best of Pedro, his fierce competitiveness and refusal to back down, regardless of the pressure. The 2004 season was a milestone not just for Pedro, but for the entire Boston Red Sox franchise. After years of frustration and an 86-year title drought, Pedro played a key role in securing the World Series title. While he wasn't the only hero, his contribution was crucial in decisive moments. The 2004 title was not just a victory for Boston, but a perfect ending to Pedro's chapter with the team. Even after his retirement, Pedro Martínez continued to be a significant presence in baseball. He worked as an analyst, mentor to young players, and ambassador for the sport. His keen insight into the game and his ability to share knowledge solidified his status as one of the brightest minds in baseball. Additionally, Pedro is widely respected for his philanthropic work. He established the Pedro Martínez Foundation, which supports underprivileged communities in the Dominican Republic by providing educational, medical, and sports resources. This work highlights Pedro's commitment not just to baseball, but to improving the lives of others. In 2015, Pedro Martínez was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, an honor that crowned a brilliant career. He was elected in his first year of eligibility with 91.1% of the votes, reflecting the immense admiration and respect he had earned over the years. In his acceptance speech, Pedro made sure to highlight his Dominican roots, thanking his family, coaches, and all those who supported him along his journey. Pedro Martínez's impact goes beyond statistics and trophies. He set a model for future generations of pitchers, showing that baseball is both a game of physical skill and mental strategy. He proved that with dedication, intelligence, and passion, it's possible to overcome any challenge and achieve greatness. Pedro Martínez is more than an athlete. He is a symbol of perseverance, passion, and excellence. His story teaches us that success is not just about talent, but how you use that talent to inspire others and make a difference in the world. For baseball fans and those seeking inspiration in life, Pedro will always be an endless source of motivation. Beyond his impact on the field, Pedro Martínez is also one of the most important figures in the Dominican Republic sports history. His international success put the country on the map as a hotbed of baseball talent. Pedro inspired generations of young Dominicans to dream big, showing that it's possible to achieve stardom through hard work, perseverance, and dedication. He frequently returned to his homeland, showing pride in his origins and contributing to the development of his community. Pedro is widely considered an ambassador for Dominican baseball, using his influence to promote the sport and open doors for other Dominican athletes. Today, many players from the country cite him as a direct influence on their careers. Pedro Martínez's arsenal was legendary, but what set him apart was his ability to adapt and evolve over the years. He started his career with an explosive fastball, but as his velocity naturally declined over time, Pedro found new ways to outsmart hitters. His absolute control and mastery of pitches like the changeup and curveball allowed him to remain competitive even in an era that favored hitters. This adaptability is one of the reasons his career was so long and successful. He didn't limit himself to what he already did well. He was constantly learning, analyzing opponents, and innovating. What separated Pedro Martínez from many of his contemporaries was his fiercely competitive mindset. He was known for his confidence on the mound, something that often seemed to unnerve batters before the game even started. But this confidence didn't come solely from his ability. It was the result of meticulous preparation. Pedro studied each batter carefully, identifying weaknesses and exploiting them to the fullest. This detailed approach not only helped him dominate on the field, but also served as an example to his teammates. He raised the level of everyone around him, demanding excellence and setting the example with his performance. It would be impossible to talk about Pedro Martínez without highlighting some of the most memorable moments of his career. His performance against the Cleveland Indians in the 1999 playoffs, when he entered as a reliever and pitched 6 hitless innings, is often regarded as one of the greatest performances in baseball history. Another significant moment was the 1999 All-Star Game at Fenway Park, where Pedro was named MVP after striking out 5 of the National League's best hitters in a row, including big names like Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. These performances helped cement his reputation as one of the greatest players of his generation. Despite all his greatness, Pedro Martínez never let success go to his head. He remained humble and connected to his roots. His story is a lesson that even when reaching the top, It's important to remember where you came from and help others follow the same path. Pedro also emphasized the importance of hard work, even when you have natural talent. He knew that talent alone wasn't enough to keep him at the top and devoted countless hours to training and studying the game. Pedro Martínez continues to be a source of inspiration, not just for baseball players, but for anyone striving for excellence in their field. His story proves that even when facing adversity, it's possible to overcome challenges and leave a lasting impact. For future generations, Pedro is more than an elite pitcher. He is an example of what it means to be resilient, determined, and passionate about what you do. Pedro Martínez's impact goes far beyond statistics or titles. He transformed the way we view baseball, especially in the context of such a challenging era like the 90s. Pedro brought hope and inspiration to millions of fans worldwide and set a standard of excellence that will be remembered for generations. In 2015, Pedro Martínez reached one of baseball's most prestigious milestones, his induction into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. The ceremony was a moment of celebration not just for Pedro, but also for the Dominican Republic, which proudly saw one of its own immortalized among the greatest players in history. He was elected with 91.1% of the vote, a number that reflects the deep impact he had on the sport. In his acceptance speech, Pedro emotionally spoke about his journey, highlighting the sacrifices of his family, the importance of his roots, and his gratitude to the fans and coaches who supported him throughout his career. It was a moment that encapsulated the humility and passion that defined Pedro both on and off the field. After his retirement, Pedro Martínez didn't step away from baseball. He took on roles as a commentator and consultant, sharing his vast knowledge of the game with fans and players. His unique perspective as one of the best pitchers in history brought valuable insights to broadcasts and analysis. Additionally, Pedro dedicated himself to helping the next generation of talent, especially in the Dominican Republic. He became involved in community programs and baseball academies, offering guidance to promising young players. His presence continues to be an inspiring force for those who dream of following in his footsteps. Pedro Martínez was not just a player, he was a showman. His presence on the mound was electrifying, and his passion for the game was evident in every pitch. He brought a sense of spectacle to baseball that few could match, turning every game he played in into a must-watch event. His duels against the greatest hitters of the time, his intensity, and even his captivating personality off the field helped elevate baseball during a period of intense changes in the sport. Pedro represented the perfect fusion of technical skill and charisma, making him an icon not only for hardcore fans, but also for casual viewers. Pedro Martínez was not just a pitcher. He was a revolutionary force who forever changed the way baseball is played and appreciated. His career is a testament to the power of determination, hard work, and an unwavering mentality in the face of adversity. Coming from humble beginnings in the Dominican Republic, Pedro showed the world that talent can emerge from anywhere as long as it is nurtured by passion and commitment. He wasn't just a player dominating hitters. He was a symbol of hope for young athletes worldwide who dream of reaching greatness, no matter the circumstances. Pedro's impact goes beyond impressive statistics and awards. He redefined what it means to be a dominant pitcher. In an era when speed and physical strength were often glorified, Pedro proved that intelligence, strategy, and a fierce heart could overcome any obstacle. He faced some of baseball's biggest stars during his golden era and did so with style, precision, and above all, confidence. His iconic performances against the Yankees, his ability to pitch complete games with mastery, and his determination to never back down from a challenge were clear examples of his greatness. For baseball fans, Pedro Martínez was more than an athlete. He was a spectacle on the field. Every game he took the mound in was an unmissable event. He had the rare ability to combine surgical precision with pure emotion in his pitches. Fans knew they were watching something special, something that couldn't be replicated. And even when he faced tough moments, Pedro never flinched. He used the criticism and challenges as fuel to become even better. That resilience is something few athletes achieve, and it's what makes him so memorable. Beyond his talent on the field, Pedro is also remembered for his character off it. He always proudly represented his Dominican roots, becoming an ambassador for baseball in Latin America and beyond. His commitment to philanthropic initiatives, especially supporting young talent and underprivileged communities, demonstrates that his greatness was not confined to the walls of the stadium. He used his platform to open doors for others, to show that sports can be a powerful tool for change and opportunity. Today, as we look back at Pedro Martínez's legacy, we see not just one of the greatest pitchers of all time, but also a model of inspiration and humility. His induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame was a moment that transcended statistics and victories. It was a celebration of his extraordinary journey, his contribution to the sport, and his ability to touch the lives of millions of fans. He showed us that true success is not only measured in numbers, but in how you inspire and impact others along the way. In the end, Pedro Martínez left us with a lasting example. Greatness is not just in reaching the top, but in how you do it. He reached the peak of his career with integrity, passion, and a deep love for the game. For baseball fans of all ages, his story is proof that with talent, dedication, and courage, it's possible to leave a mark that stands the test of time. Pedro Martínez is not just a baseball legend. He is an inspiration for all who believe in the beauty of fighting for their dreams. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to not miss new content. Share your thoughts on Pedro Martínez in the comments, and share your memories of this legendary pitcher. Pedro Martínez continues to be a widely respected figure in the world of sports. His impact goes beyond statistics and trophies. He is a symbol of excellence, humility, and perseverance. As we look back on his career, we are reminded of why we love baseball and how it can inspire not just athletes, but all of us in our daily lives. As we close this journey through Pedro's career, it is clear that he is not only a baseball legend, but also a figure who transcends the sport. His story reminds us that true greatness is not just in what we achieve, but in how we inspire others to follow the same path. Until the next journey, dear baseball-loving friends,